Okay, it is 4:15 and we're going to go ahead and get started. So I want to say good afternoon, everyone. I'm Armando Sierra, your District Instructional Technology Strategist, and I'd like to welcome you to our second ever live webinar titled How to Create and Share Google Docs, Sheets, and Slides. This webinar will take about 60 minutes or just under that. All resources can be found at the link below or at www.mcisd.net. Then click on About Us, District Departments, Instructional Technology. Then click on PD Resources, or you can type in bit.ly/MCISD Tech 2, and that'll take you right to that area. And you can also follow me on Twitter at MCISD_Tech and on YouTube at MCISD Tech. Just note that all following webinars will be listed on our instructional technology webpage, and I want to go ahead and show you all that webpage one more time really quickly, and I have it right here. And that webpage looks like this. So you can find a lot of information on here. You can click on here and go ahead and click on my Twitter and follow me there. And you will also be able to click on PD schedule as well to view upcoming professional development for instructional technology. And you'll see that we have two of them, one which is today's and then one that's coming up on March 30th. Information for upcoming webinars. This will be a place where I will provide you with a link to click on so you can view the upcoming webinar. You click on this link and it'll take you to the live video that we are creating right now. Under PD Resources, I want to show you one more time that we have all of our information here. Any past presentations, we have them here. And what's going to happen now is you'll have all the links to the actual documents that we're going to be using in the presentation. And if you'll notice, we have today's information here, right there. Under recorded trainings, you'll be able to click on that and you'll see all the trainings that have been recorded. And all you have to do is click on it one time and it'll go ahead and launch that for you as well. I also added tech tips and more. And these are just some things that I see whenever I'm using the computer, and I want to go ahead and share with you all. Right now we have 5 of them, and I try to add another tech tip, one a day if I can. So be on the lookout for those as well. And let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I know the last time that we had a webinar, it was talking about Google Drive, and one of the issues with Google Drive was I wanted to show you all how to actually install the Drive app on your computer. Now, the Drive app can be a very useful program, and the easiest way to get to your Drive app is to open up your Google account, which is your email address at missioncisd.org, and then go ahead and sign in with your regular password. And then when you go into your email account, your Google Apps account, you'll click on the apps over here, and then you'll go ahead and click on Drive. Once you do that, it'll open up this screen right here, and you'll be able to click on the gear icon, which is also it's called your settings. So you go ahead and click on that, and then you click on Download Drive. It'll start downloading the application for you, and once it's downloaded, it's going to be either in your Google Drive account, or it'll be in your downloads, excuse me, on your desktop or on your downloads, excuse me. Got a little tongue-tied there. Okay, so I already have it installed. I'm going to go ahead and click on Google Drive, and we're going to go ahead and launch the whole program. So it'll take just a moment for it to open up, and we'll be greeted with the screen that should be here. Click on sign in. This is the screen that I was talking about. So once you get to the screen, you go ahead and sign in. Now I'm going to go ahead and use my information real quick. And then password is my regular password. And then here it's just saying add your files to this folder. Files kept in this folder in this Google Drive folder are backed up and safe. So I'm going to hit next. your files go with you. You can download Google Drive for your phone or tablet to get your files easily from any device. You can get it on your Android device or your iOS device. Hit next. And then it's telling you how you can also share documents as well. And it's a simple right click and then click on share. And then we have some information here that it's telling you. It'll give you your information of how much space you have used, and then everything that's being synced to your computer. Now, if you have a lot of information in your Google Drive account, which I do, we're going to go to Sync Options, and I do not want to sync all of my information because I have some file folders in there, some folders that are really large. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Sync Only These Folders. So all these folders are okay. All these folders are okay. Now, the ones that say video, I don't want those to be synced. And the ones that say old, this is from my old position. I don't want those to be synced. And that's pretty much it. Everything else is good. And it looks like we can go ahead and get started. So once I click on Start Sync, it's going to start syncing all the files from the cloud to your device. So that means it's going to store these files on your computer, on your hard drive, and you'll be able to access them whenever you have to. And once you're done using those files, you'll be able to close them out, save them, and it'll be synced automatically to your Google Drive account. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Start Sync. And to see whether it's actually working, you'll come down here to the right side. Oops. Okay. You'll come down here to the right side, and you'll see here that it is syncing, preparing for sync 3,998 files, and it's just going to keep on going until it finds all the files that you have in there. And once it's done, it'll say sync complete, excuse me. All right, so that's how you install Google Drive. And if you wanted to see Google Drive, you'll just open up your computer or your File Explorer, and then you'll look down over here and you'll go to My Computer, and you'd be able to see Drive right here, but it's on this side right here, Google Drive. You'll be able to look at it, and you'll see all the folders and all the files that you have synced. Right now, mine is still syncing, and if you'll notice that here it says still preparing for sync, and there's 14,000 files that we need to sync, so we're working on that. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out, and we're actually going to get started with our presentation, the reason why we are here. And so the reason why we're here is because we're going to be talking about creating Google Docs, Sheets, and Slides, and sharing all of those. And so Google Drive is a very powerful tool. A lot of people think that it's not that powerful, that it's nothing like Microsoft Word or Microsoft Office, but it's very similar in a lot of ways, and in some ways better as well. So one of the things that I want to show you is being able to go to New, and this, you have to be in Google Drive. And if you don't know how to do that, all you have to do is open up a new tab, and you go to drive.google.com, and it'll go ahead and launch Google Drive for you. I already have it open. Here we are. And I have folders are already color-coded, so everything has a color for it. And I usually name my file or my folders like this, 01 agendas. And I know that all of my documents that are dealing with agendas or agendas that I've created are going to be put into this folder right here. To create a new file or folder, you'll go to the New button right here, and you'll click on New, and then you can click on Folder, File Upload, Folder Upload, or Docs, Sheets, Google Slides, and many, many more. Okay, all of these are the Google apps that we have access to, and we also have other apps connected as well that you can go in there and look for. So I'm going to go ahead and do a file upload. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on File Upload, And on my desktop, I already saved a document called training documents. Oh, Windows. I'm going to click on training document, and then I'm going to click on open. And here on the right side, it'll say one upload complete, training document.docx. So the first thing that I wanted to show you was going in here and converting this document into a Google document. And so if you'll notice, I already have quite a few documents in here. I'm going to close this out, and I'm going to click at the very bottom, this one right here. It says training document. I'm going to right click, and then I can either open with, and I can open it with Google Docs, or I can click on preview. If I click on preview, this is what's going to show on that document. So I'm going to go ahead and click on open with Google Docs. What's going to happen now is that it's automatically changing this into a Google document, which is great because this is how you would want to work. Okay, my screen looks a little bit different, and this is how your screen would look. You would have all this information on top, and then you'll have your document here that you just translated or you just created. So I'm going to go back to my drive, and I'm going to go ahead and start with my agenda, and I'm going to go to number 3, and we're going to create a folder. So we're going to create a folder, and we're actually going to put quite a few of these files in there. So I'm going to go ahead and just call it 0001 underscore training folder. Hit create, and it puts it at the very top, and that's where I want it. So I'm going to select all of these documents, and I can either click and hold them and then drag it to the very top, or I could right click and then I can click on move to, and I'm going to click on 0001 training folder, and then I click on move. What's going to happen now is all of those files have been moved to that folder that I just created. So you see they're not down here anymore. Now if I go ahead and double click on the training folder, all the files that I just created are in here and they're ready to go. Now, if you wanted to go ahead and share this folder, you could right click on it and you can click on share. And then you would just go ahead and type in the email address of the person that you want to share it to. Remember, if you have information in there that's sensitive and that shouldn't be getting out into the public, then you want to share it with someone that's inside the domain and that has reason to be looking at that folder. Okay, if there are lesson plans or there are, manipulatives that you have to, use, or graphic organizers, and you want to share it with your team or your department, you can do it just very easily like that. And so on number 4 on our agenda, it was actually upload a Word file and then convert into Google Docs. We already did that. And then we're going to go ahead and talk about Google Docs. So if we wanted to create a new document, I'm going to come back to the training folder. I go to new and then Google Docs. Since I already have a document that's created, I'm just going to use this document here. And sometimes you can't see this very well, and this is something that you should tell your students as well if they're having a hard time viewing this. It's an easy fix by clicking in this area right here. It says zoom. Click on this, and you can make it a little bit larger, 150, or if you want to go ahead and have it fit the width of the screen, it'll fit the width of the screen really easily. Okay. You have a lot of awesome options here that you can use while you are working on a document. So the first thing that I want to go ahead and share with you is that whenever you use Google Docs, Sheets, Slides, or Google Drawing as well, you are going to be looking at creating the document, and you'll be able to go to, oh my goodness, I just lost my place there for a second. Give me 1 second. You'll be able to do a lot of things. And anytime you open this document, everything is going to save automatically. And if you'll look right here, last edit was 4 minutes ago. And that was when we created it. So if I go ahead and hit enter, and then I type in a word, hello, how are you? Or a sentence, it's going to say up here, all changes saved in Drive. And so that's great. That's peace of mind. There's no more going to file and then save. And that was always a pain when we're using Microsoft Word or Microsoft Excel or PowerPoint. So it's a very easy step that you, or no step that you have to take or worry about. And this is great for students as well, because a lot of times when they're working on documents, they forget to go in there and save a document or save something. And here, they don't ever have to worry about it. So that's awesome. I absolutely love that. So I wanted to go ahead and show you a few things. If we wanted to share this file, just one file, with someone else, I can go to File, Share, and it'll give me this window. Now, if I want to go over here to the upper right-hand corner, right underneath your email address, and click on File, I can go ahead, or Share, excuse me, I can go ahead and do the same thing. And I can go ahead and type in my other email address, and I can give them different privileges. I can give them edit privileges, comment privileges, or view, and each of them does something different. Commenting means they'll be able to go in there and comment on your document, and I'll show you what that means in just a moment. And then viewing, they can only view your document. They can't do anything else. Now, if you have other specifics that you want to put, there's a little tab that says Advanced, and you can actually go in here and says, who has access to this? Change, and you can say anyone with the link, the whole internet, the whole web, or only people in the district, or people in the district with the link. So it's you can get pretty specific. So I'm going to click on Cancel. Shows that I'm the owner, and if you have another person in here, you can also change them to be the owner as well. You can add a little message if you want to tell them, hey, can you please edit this or look this over? You can send a copy to yourself, paste the item itself into the email if you wanted to, and you can prevent editors from changing access and adding new people, or you can disable options to download, print, and copy for commenters and viewers. So it's a pretty awesome feature being able to share this. Now, there's no more need to carry around a USB drive and pass it around in a group project, or if you're working on documents, you can pretty much share anything with anyone. So it's something that you all can definitely utilize as a teacher or as an administrator or even as a student. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Done. I didn't want to share that. And I wanted to show you all a couple of other features. So the first thing that I want to show you all is inserting. To insert something into your document, I just went to a new line. I'm going to go to Insert, and then I'm going to click on Image. I can add a link, an equation. For our math teachers, you can add equations in there, and it's pretty simple. So I can go ahead and say New Equation, and then I can say, okay, what are we going to do? Is it going to be something like plus or minus, or are we going to have a division sign that goes in here? So I can go in here and say 4 divided by 2, and then I can go ahead and click on equals, and then I can leave a space for them, and then leave it alone. And that's it. I'm done with that equation. And so if I want to make it look like a space that they can write their answer, they can. I want to delete it, highlight it, delete, and you're good to go. So that's equation. And it brings up this whole little bar right here with a bunch of little arrows and icons that you can use for math. I'm going to close that bar up, go back to Insert, and I'm actually going to insert an image. So what we could do is we could actually go into our Google Drive account, and if you have images in your Google Drive account, I can look for images, and then I select where I have my image, and then I can go ahead and click on it one time, select, and the image will be inserted. And for some reason, it's showing as a white image. I'm not sure what happened there, but let's try that one more time. Image, and then we're going to select a regular logo. There it is. All right, here we go. If I want to go ahead and make this shorter or smaller, I go ahead and click on the corner, and I drag it in to make it a little bit smaller, and we're good to go. Now, what if I want to put this image in the header? I would actually go ahead and click on it one time, hit Control X or Command X on a Mac, and then I'm going to go to Insert, Header, and then I'm going to hit Command or Control V, and it's going to be put right in there. If I want to have this centered, I can click on the center button once I select it, and it'll go into the center. So it looks like an actual, formal document that you needed to create. So very simple. If you have a signature or a header that you wanted to put in here, you can also put that in there as well. So it's a pretty simple and nifty trick. Image, and then select the image and put that in there whenever you need to. If you need to create a table, you can go in here and create a table pretty easily, same way that we would do it in Word. One of the other things that I like is, I'm going to go ahead and delete this table. One of the other things that I really like is the research option. So the research option is under Tools and then Research. So once I click on Research, it's going to pull up this information on the sidebar over here. And so if I'm looking for information about webinars, I can type in webinars right here, and it's automatically going to bring me a lot of information here about webinars. So let's say I wanted to go ahead and use information about a GoToMeeting website. I can click on it here, and I can actually click on preview if I want to preview it, and it'll show me the website, what it looks like. And I can also click on insert link. Once I click on insert link, it automatically gets put in there. Okay, so if I wanted to cite this, I could actually click on cite, and it will cite it. And if you'll notice, it just did a superscript #1. And if you scroll down, it has that information down here for you. So the research tool is very, very good. If I wanted to go back in here and change this into images, I can go and click on images, and I'm just going to hit enter, and I'm going to click on one image right here, and let's see if I like it. Okay, whenever it opens. So if I like this image, we can use it. I can click on it, hold it, drag it, and drop it right in there. And if you'll notice, as soon as I clicked on it and dragged it over here, it automatically cited that image. And if you look down here, that's exactly where you got it from. So this is great when you're trying to teach your students how to cite their sources and hold them accountable for what they are using on the internet. So that's awesome. You can do that with images, you can do that with maps, you can do that pretty much with anything. You can look for scholarly articles or journal articles. You can look for quotes. You can use it as a dictionary, anything really. The research tool is an awesome, awesome tool. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. The next tool that I really like is under Tools as well, and then it is voice typing. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Enter and go to a new line right here. And then I'm going to go back to Tools, and then I'm going to go to Voice Typing. And so what you'll notice is this little microphone will pop up whenever you click on it. So the first time that you use voice typing, you're going to have to click on the microphone one time, and then up here on the right or on the left side, it'll say use your microphone. And once you see that, yes, you want to allow this. So I just clicked on allow, and every time that I say something, it's actually going to pick it up via the microphone. So if I wanted to keep on talking, I could, period. So the next time you think about a student that really needs some help with typing on a computer, you can have them use voice typing in Google Docs, period. Whenever you are done, you can go ahead and click on the red button one more time, and it'll stop the recording, period. And if you'll notice, there's a bunch of little squiggly lines underneath it. You could actually click on that. Well, you should be able to click on it, and it'll give you some more information. Did you mean? And then it'll give you some ideas of what you could replace that with. Did you mean? And then you do that too. And it's just a right click, and you can do some other options here under Did You Mean? So that is a great feature. Think about using this with students that are not mobile. They can't use their hands to type, but they are verbal. If they're verbal, then you can teach them how to use this, and it'll help them type out a something that they are trying to work on, an essay, or maybe you do a journal activity with them. Now, I do caution you, try not to use this in a very big class, because what's going to end up happening is you're going to have a bunch of people that are using it at the same time, and it may start picking up other people's voices. So you do want to be careful about when and where you use that. So that's voice typing, and I really, really like that tool. Now, the next one is one that I really like, and it's called Translate Document. So I use this quite a bit. Whenever I type something in English, most of the time I should be typing it in Spanish as well, but my Spanish is not very good, and I'm not going to, pretend that it is. So under Tools, I can click on Translate Document. When I click on Translate Document, it's going to give me a new title name. It says Translated Copy of Training Document, and I want to translate it into Spanish. So I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to find Spanish. And once I do that, I click on Translate, and now it's going to open up a new document with everything translated in it. Now, it may not be 100% accurate. You have to always make sure that you are looking at everything and making sure that that is translated as best as possible. So I have the other translated document on the right and the original document over here. On here it says, welcome to technology webinars, and then on the right side, translated into Spanish, it says, bienvenido a los seminarios de tecnología. And that's as best as I can speak Spanish. So you can look at that and try to use this for your students, or maybe you can use this whenever you are writing a note home to a parent. You can use the translate feature as well. Again, please proofread it and make sure that all the words have been translated correctly. It's not 100% accurate. We're probably looking at 90% accurate, but that's a lot better than nothing, really. So that's an awesome way to go ahead and use the translate option there. So I'm going to go ahead and just close this out, and this will be located in the same area that you created your other document in. So once you create it, it should be in here. If it's not, then it's going to be in your main drive. So I'm just going to refresh it real quick. And if we go ahead and look at it, we'll find that it is not there. It's going to be in your main drive. So click right here one time, and once it opens, it's right there. And again, if I wanted to, I can move it back to with that other document as well. So here we go. I'm going to make this big again, and we're good to go. The next thing that I want to show you all is how you can go ahead and comment on this. I really like this feature, and I'm kind of skipping over table and add-ons, but I'm going to come back to those in just a moment. So let's say you are working on this with a group. Maybe it's 4 or 5 teachers in the department, and you all are working on lesson plans. Now, the awesome thing about this is we have a commenting feature. So everyone has access to this. You'll click on comments up here on the right corner next to share, and then you can click on comment. Now, it clicked on comment and it selected the word wherever the cursor was at. I don't want that word to be selected. I want this one to be selected. And I can go over here and click on comments and then comment again. And then I can go ahead and type in whatever it is that I need to type in. So I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. And I'm going to go ahead and type in here, please change this greeting, and then comment. And so what's going to happen is if you're editing this with someone else, they can go ahead and see this here and say, okay, welcome to the technology webinars. And then they can say, you know what, I don't think I should change this. So they can go ahead and click on resolve, or say, I think it is okay. And then click on reply. And this is going to be the thread that you all are going to have. And once they're done working on it, in order to get this yellow highlight off, you can click on resolve, and that'll actually move it away. But if you want to see what you actually did, you can come back over here and review all of your changes. And so this is great when your students are working on this, or when you're working on this with them, and they are trying to communicate, collaborate with each other. This is a great option for them to be able to communicate with each other. This works on Android phones and I believe iOS devices. I don't own any iOS devices, but it's really awesome when you're able to communicate with your students when they're working on a document. So that's a really cool feature. And another way to actually do that is, let's say we want to select this picture. If you'll notice on the right side of the document, there's a little icon. It's add a comment. So once you click on that, it works the exact same way as it would work if you clicked on comments and then comments again. I'm just going to go ahead and say use a different picture, then comment. And then whenever the student, gets this or opens their assignment the next time they log in, they'll be able to see this there, and they'll be able to go ahead and say, oh yeah, let me use a different picture. And then once they're done, resolve, and it goes away. So that's a very cool feature. Another feature that I like is the ability to change the editing or suggesting modes. And so editing and suggesting is a pretty useful thing that you can use, or your students can use. Let's think about in your language arts classes when they are working on an assignment. Let's say they have a rough draft. They already created that. That was on regular paper with pencil. And now they're going to create their first draft in a writing or essay. So they go ahead and start creating their first draft, and they're going to be typing it in editing mode, and that's perfect. Now, let's say we want them to do a peer review. So all they would have to do is go to share, type in the student's email address right there, and then give them editing access. Click on done, and it'll send it to them. And then when that other student gets it, they're going to have the ability to come over here and click on editing and then go to suggesting. Now, you'll notice there's three options. There's editing, edit document directly, suggesting, edits become suggestions, and then there's viewing, read or print final document. So suggesting gives them that ability to say, you know what, we need to change this to this, and then the final approval is going to be coming from the owner of the document. So it's a very powerful tool. So once you go into suggesting mode, it'll turn green right here. And let's say, you know what, I want to go ahead and strike this. I don't want that anymore. I click on it, highlight it, hit the backspace, and then everything goes away. And so the next time that the person comes over here and they're working on their document, they can see that this is exactly what it was that this person did. And they deleted this. And do you agree with that? If you agree, or you want to accept the suggestion, you just click the little check mark. If you do not agree, you click reject suggestion. So I agree, and we're good to go. And now it's deleted. Okay, so it's a very, very useful tool. Peer reviews to the next level. And again, if they wanted to go ahead and say, you know what, we need to work on this, let's go ahead and go to suggesting mode. So, and then maybe a comma goes there. Let's say that I want to delete this, and it needs to be capital W here. Okay, and are they going to keep it? They can if they want to. If they don't have to. It's completely up to them. So that would be the suggesting mode. Very, very useful. So let's show you the email collaborators. So this is great when you're working on group projects and you want everyone to start, doing something. You can go to File, and then you can go ahead and go to Email Collaborators. And what this is going to do is, if you have collaborators, it'll give you an option to say, hey, I need you to start looking at this document. Let's begin working and revising it. And then you go from there, and you all can be on the same page. So it's a very useful feature. You can also email a document. So it's not just, using it in Google Docs, you could actually email a Word document to someone else. And so you come down here to where it says email as attachment. So I click on that, and now I can email it as a PDF. I can email it as a Word document, which means you can open it with Microsoft Word, a rich text formatted document, HTML, plain text, or open document. And or you can actually paste the item into the email. Completely up to you how you want to go about that. Let's say I want to go ahead and create a Word document. I can type in my email address, type it in, and then I can go ahead and say, please review, and then click on send. And usually this is going to be an email that, or this is someone that doesn't have a Google Apps for Education account or a Google account. So that's when the email document would come in handy. You can also go back to File, Download As, and then you can download it as Word document, open document, rich text, PDF, plain text, so on and so forth. So the PDF is really good if you don't want people making changes to that. So it's a very, very cool way of using Google Docs. A lot of people think that, this is not powerful enough, but if you ask me, there's quite a bit of pluses, especially when our high school students have Chromebooks, and except for our seniors. And when you think about our junior high classes or our junior high schools, many of them have quite a few Chromebooks at their campuses. So I want to go ahead and quickly show you all. I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to go into my training folder, and then I'm going to go into new, and then I'm going to click on Google Sheets. So Google Sheets is pretty awesome. I wanted to show you just a few features because most of it is pretty much the same way that it works in Google Docs and the same way it works in Microsoft Excel. So you still have your buttons up here. If you wanted to name your document, and you can do this on all of your Google apps, you click on the top right here and it'll highlight the name, and then I can go ahead and put in training sheet, and we're good to go. And so I can do that. And then I can go over here to File, Share, or I can click on the Share button on this side. I can create a new document, spreadsheet, presentation, form, or drawing. I can rename this and it'll just highlight this up here. I can make a copy of this, and this is beneficial when you don't want to make edits to maybe an original document. I can organize, meaning I can go ahead and move it from one folder to another. I could send it to the trash completely if it's not something that I want to use. I can also import information from another file. I don't want to use that right now. I can see revision history, and I think I touched on this at the last training, but see revision history is pretty awesome. I'm going to go back over here to my training document just to show you the revision history because there's more information on it. So I'm going to go back to see revision history. And so if you'll notice on the right side, there's two entries here, but I want to show more detailed revisions. And if you'll notice, there's a lot of detailed revisions. So if I click here, what is it going to show me? It's going to show that I struck out this. If I click over here, what is it going to show me? It's going to show this area. So it's really beneficial because I had students, using this when I was in the classroom, and one of them deleted a lot of work or typed in some inappropriate words, and I was able to go back to revision history and pull up everything. This is the first document that we translated or imported, and then it'll show me everything. So let's say I want to go back to the point where, now that shows up, where I go ahead and bring in this icon here, or this logo. If I want to restore this revision, I could click on restore this revision and it'll restore for me. I don't want to do that. I want to leave it the way it was. I'm going to go back. Or if I wanted to just print this out, I could if I need to have documentation for whatever reason. So I'm going to go back to my Google Sheets. And I wanted to show you that you have the ability to insert charts and images as well, and links and forms if you wanted to. So it's a very useful spreadsheet. And the way I would use the Google Sheets is think about having your students work on a science project, if they're collecting data and they want to show their data on a nice spreadsheet, you would have them use Google Sheets. Now, you can also have them chart their data or create graphs, and it's very easy. You just highlight everything, and then you click on Insert Chart, and it'll give you an option of what type of chart you want to use. And there's quite a bit of charts, and you can, select any of them, and it'll give you that information. Now, let's say I want to go ahead and put down some information, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I want to put blue, yellow, green, red. And so if I wanted to chart this, I'd highlight everything and then click right here on Insert Chart, or I go into Insert and then Chart. Okay, so once everything's highlighted right there, it's going to give me some options here. Is this something that you like, or is this something that you like? I like this one a little bit better, even though the colors are not the right colors, and you can always go in there and adjust them as well. So we're going to go ahead and leave that alone. We're going to click on this graph right here, and I'm going to click on Insert. So once you do that, you can kind of move it around right here. And if you'll notice, this is blue, this is yellow, and you can go in here and you could change the fill color to something different, and that's for all of them. Now, if you just wanted to change the values, you can change everything straight through here. You can change the color here, whatever it is that you want. You can make it larger, you can make it smaller, and this is going to be an interactive chart as well. So it's a very useful way of creating charts. This color is way too bright for me. I'm going to go ahead and change this to the default blue. So we'll see how that looks. And I can also change the axes as well. So that's a pretty awesome, nifty feature. On the bottom right-hand corner, bottom left-hand corner, there's an Add Sheet. If you click on the Add Sheet, you can go ahead and add more sheets to this. And you can also protect sheets. So if there's something that you're working on and you don't want anyone to edit that one sheet, you would go ahead and right-click and then Protect Sheet, and that'll protect that sheet for you. I'm going to go back over here to sheet 1, and I wanted to show you just a couple more things in Google Sheets. There's the feature to filter. You can create new filters, or you can also do sorting. So if you go to Data, you can also sort sheet by column J, and you just sort everything the way you want it. So it's a pretty useful feature there. That I really like that. You also have add-ons that you can use, and there's a bunch of add-ons that you might want to use. Autocrat is a really good one. Doctopus is a good one. Flubaroo is for whenever you want to grade a assignment or a quiz or a Google form. You click on that one, you enable it, and you start working on it. Mail merge is very useful as well. So to get add-ons, you go to Get Add-ons, and this screen is going to pop up, and you're going to be able to choose an add-on. Now, add-ons are things that you can use on Google Sheets, Google, and Google Documents, and they're pretty nifty. So some of the ones that you have here, this one is going to be Flubaroo, and it's for you to grade your test automatically, or your quizzes that you give them on Google Forms. And all you would have to do is click on the little blue icon where it says free. Gmath for Sheets, and it says create graphs including plotting points. If I can read it. Plotting points and write complex math directly in your Google Sheet. You can use this to create a form as well. So it's a pretty awesome tool, and there's a bunch of information here, and it gives you tutorials on how exactly to use it as well. So that's a pretty cool add-on that you can add. You can remove duplicates, so if someone accidentally types something in twice, you can remove them. You can save as docs, as a doc, and use that as well. Power tools, you have another mail merge, merge values. So there's a lot of options in here that you could use. And it's just up to you what you are trying to, work on. And once you figure that out, you go ahead and start using these add-ons. And there's quite a bit. You scroll through them and you can look through them, or you can actually go ahead and search for add-ons right up here. So very, very functional and useful. The next thing that I want to show you is Google Slides. So it's not going to be an extensive presentation because Google Slides is pretty straightforward. I'm going to go back to my Drive account, then I'm going to click on New, and then Google Slides. And once you do that, I'm going to go ahead and first thing I do on all my documents is title them. And this isn't necessarily the way I title them all the time, but I'm going to go ahead and put Training Slides and leave that alone. And you have a bunch of themes on the right-hand side that you can choose from. Whatever theme fits you, you click on it, and it'll go ahead and add it to there. If you're ready to start typing, you just click on where it says click to add title, and I'm going to go ahead and put in here Training Slides. And if I want to add my name here, I can, and we're good to go. So it's pretty awesome because, again, just like Google Documents, Google Sheets, you do not have to save anything. I remember when we would pass around that USB drive all the time, and if you didn't save something one time, oh, you were in trouble. So we can share as well the same way. Google Docs and Google Drive they really do want you to collaborate. That's the idea behind it. They want you to collaborate with each other. When we want our students to collaborate with each other. So it's a very useful tool. You can share, you can create new documents, so on and so forth. Everything looks the same as it did before. Now here we can actually download as a PDF or a JPEG. Or if we are getting ready to print something for whatever reason, and I don't print my training documents anymore, everything's hosted in the cloud. If I wanted to print them, I can go to Print Settings and Preview. Click on that one time, and I can print it as a slide on the entire slide, or I could actually go over here and do one slide with notes, and you'll have all of the notes that you type in here. Or I can go ahead and say, you know what, 2 slides per page, and they would have 2 slides here. And you can also do the normal 6 slides per page as well. And you would make it a little bit smaller, and you have all the stuff in here as well. You can also hide the background if you wanted to, if you're worried about how much toner you're using. And you can also download as a PDF as well. And it's going to open up the PDF right here. So just as good as Microsoft PowerPoint. You can also print it from this view. Whenever you're done with this view, you can go to Close Preview, and you're ready to start working. So I know I mentioned notes just a minute ago. On the bottom down here, we have the option for notes. We can go ahead and type in, welcome the trainees. Okay, and then whatever notes you want to put in there, you could if you wanted to. One of the things that some other people were talking about was how do they add videos into their presentations? So let's say you have a video that you created and it's yours, you own it. You could actually save it into your Google Drive account because you can upload a file just like that. And what would happen is you come over here to Insert and then Video. And so it's going to give you 2 options. You can actually do a video search or a URL search. Excuse me. So if you have a URL to that one document or that one training video, you can just plug it in right there. And it has to be a YouTube URL. Now, I'm going to give you an option of how we can get around that in just a moment. So I can go ahead and click on search if I want to go ahead and do MCISD Tech. Search for that. And then I'm going to say, you know what, I want to embed this video. Click on that. And it's going to go ahead and embed the video. So now the next time that they watch this, they'll be able to watch it pretty easily. So if I click on Present, and then I go ahead and click on Play, they'll be able to watch that video straight from the presentation. So I'm going to go ahead and pause that, and I'm going to exit out of that. So that's an awesome feature right there. You can also go into insert, and you can add more text box, word art if you wanted to, or images the same way. One trick that I really like that I want to show you all, if you're looking for images of trainings, we can go ahead and click on trainings, images, and then let's say I like this image right here. So I could actually click on view image, and I always want to try to find the highest resolution image. Click on it one time, hold it, drag it over here on top, and move it over here straight on that. And if you'll notice what I was doing, I was actually dragging it over the actual tabs. So I'm dragging it over this tab, and I'm going to go ahead and drop it right in here. So once I drop it in there, I can go ahead and reposition it and say it's going to go there. So that's the way it would look. Pretty simple, you know, nothing too crazy, but it is a cool trick where you can find an image, click on it, hold it, and drag it into whatever slide it is. And you can do that in Word, and you can, in Google Docs, and you can do that in Google Excel, Google Sheets as well, excuse me. To change the background, this is usually a solid background, or you can choose an image if you wanted to from your albums or your Google Drive, or you can take a snapshot if you have a webcam on there as well. So it's pretty cool. You can change the layout. So if you wanted to have a section header, you can change it like that. Or if you wanted to change it to a 2-column setup, you can change it like that as well. You can go to themes, and you can change your themes right here on the right side. And once you do that, everything will change. So very nifty. You can also add transitions. And if you'll select something, you'll click on Add Transition, and it can be a fade in, or it can be any of these, and then you can make it on click. So what's going to happen is that's what's going to happen, and on click, there it is right there. So if this is going to be first, then what I would normally do is I would go over here, and then I'd go ahead and add another transition on click, and this one, add a transition on click. So what's going to happen now is if I want this image to come in up here, I can do that. I can move it around. And so I can click and drag and move it wherever I need to move it. Okay, there's also presenting views that I want to show you. You can present from beginning, you can present with speaker notes, or present in a new window. Presenting a new window would look like this. And if you want to present with speaker notes, it would look like this. So you'll have one area right here, and it gives you a timer and everything so you can practice. And you can move this off to the side, and then you can present over here. So I'm going to move this over and put my speaker notes right there, and I'm actually presenting just like that. So I don't want to have this open anymore, open it or close it, and then I'm going to go ahead and exit. You also have the ability, and I'm just going to add a few slides over here. To add slides, you just click on the plus sign, and you can print and do all these other things over here as well. You can also comment and share. But if I was presenting, let's say I was presenting from the beginning, and I want to jump around to a different slide, I can click on the slide, and then if it has a title, the title will display right here. I can select that title, and it'll jump to that one slide. You also have other options here in the settings, and you can do that as well. You can also export it to a regular PowerPoint presentation, and you can change the exit full screen mode as well. So that's Google Slides. I showed you all how to use Google Docs, how to upload a folder or a file. I showed you all how to install Google Drive, because that was my second attempt. The first one failed in the last video, but at least we got it now. I showed you how to use some of the features in Google Sheets. I also showed you a little bit about Google Slides. So that is our webinar for today. And if you have any questions, you can always put them in the webinar Q&A, and I will get back to you and answer those questions whenever I get a chance. And usually that's within 24 hours. I plan to have one webinar a week until it and it will be posted on upcoming webinars on the Instructional Technology webpage. And just to remind you all what that looks like, it's this webpage right here. Also, it will take me between 24 to 48 hours to send you your certificate once you have completed and received an 80% or better on your quiz. Don't forget to submit your feedback via the anonymous survey that is linked on the PD resources webpage. And also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter and subscribe to me on YouTube so you can see all of the latest recordings that we have to offer. Remember, technology is not scary. It may be a little intimidating, but it is something that you can handle. And hopefully with these webinars, it'll help you out as well. So I hope I'm getting better at these webinars things. And if I'm not, please leave some feedback in that anonymous survey, and I will take it to heart and make sure I learn from my mistakes. Thank you for watching, and have a great evening.